You might feel like you don't fit into this world, and let me tell you, you're not meant to. And content gods, please don't come at me for the angle of this video, okay? I'm traveling. This is the best I got. But you are literally not meant to fit into this world. You are here to be a way shower and a change maker for the matrix, quite literally. And that matrix may be your family dynamics or ways that you're trying to fit into society that literally do not fit your energy centers and the way that you are. And so trying to fit yourself into a box that does not work for you, that does not feel right for you, is blocking you from being who you truly are. So it's actually a process of unlearning who you're not and what no longer works for you and stepping into a version of you that feels right for you. All right, we're going to unwind this message because I have some layers I want to share with you here. But first, if you don't know me already, my name is Grace Moralia. Hi, how are you? I hope you're doing well. What I help people do is heal any traumas, limiting beliefs, past woundings, inner blocks that could be from childhood or any area of their past on a subconscious level that prevent them from being the highest and best version of themselves and listening to their soul's purpose and mission on this planet so they can connect to their authentic self and feel clear and confident and free in their lives. If you're interested in working with me, the way that I do this is through one-on-one coaching. And what we do in this one-on-one coaching is a mixture of many different modalities, including hypnotherapy, parts work, internal family systems, coaching, energy healing. I'm able to see energies, so I can see what messages that your soul is trying to bring forth. I also can see energetic blockages in your body and aura that are keeping you stuck in the same patterns, whether that be a certain memory or experience in your past, and then we can work through the subconscious to clear those patterns. But I can do readings, so I'm able to see messages and bring those forth to have your soul communicate with me about what needs to shift in your life for you to be in your highest purpose. So if all of that calls to you, if you feel drawn to my energy and you want a transformation, maybe you've tried therapy before, you haven't had a big shift before, you've done some inner work, but you just know there's something blocking you and you cannot get out of it, and you need some reflection and you need someone who can go deep with you and really help you rewire that, then I'm your girl. You can reach out to my phone number directly below with a little bit about what you're working through. Just text me. Tell me why you're drawn to me, what you need help with, and then we will have a no pressure chat just back and forth to see if this is something that could align for you as doing this coaching work. All right, please like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys being here. And also, please don't reach out unless you're serious. I appreciate all of you guys, but just to be respectful in that way. All right, so I got a story for you. And some of you might know a little bit about my story, but the reason I even got into trauma and subconscious healing was because when I was 18, I came out of a traumatizing household. It was not just my family. It was just that I never fit in. Like, I always felt like a black sheep of the family, and I just could not feel like my energy was right. Like, my family has a hard time saying no, so I learned a lot about people pleasing and not having boundaries and enmeshment, like feeling stuck in dynamics that weren't serving me or my family. And I just never felt like I could speak my truth and share my voice, but I always had these gifts and I always felt like I was different. And I used to see angels when I was little, and then that kind of faded away with time and then came back. But I just always felt like, I don't fit in here. I need to get out of here. And so basically, I spent a lot of time trying to fit myself into the box and trying to, get myself the way that I needed to. I went to college because I felt like I had to, and I never actually really wanted to. I ended up dropping out after a year and a semester, and I was just like, I gotta go find out who I am and what I want, because this matrix, this is not who I am. This is not what I want. And so, anyways, I had to break through a lot of layers of trauma, which I'll explain maybe more at a later time, but a lot of childhood pain and wounds and generational trauma and things that were given to me, and just hard situations that I was birthed into. My nervous system was all messed up, and just like I had to heal my nervous system, and was drinking a lot and overeating and a lot of weed, but I don't do that anymore. But I will have a nice glass of wine every now and then. Okay. But, and so basically I had to unwind and unfurl all these layers of myself to figure out who I really was. And that took many years of isolation, 3.5 years of isolation, and then I still live in isolation, but then I started like seeing the fruits of my labor of doing the inner work, and then I kind of went outside of myself and found my passion and found my coaching career and found my music and things like that. But I'm sharing this because once I stopped trying to fit into this system of the world is when I found who I really was. I wasn't supposed to go to school. I wasn't supposed to fit in with my family. I wasn't supposed to eat the same things that they eat and cope the way that they cope and live in the matrix the same way. It's just not what my soul path is. And a lot of times you kind of have to leap into the unknown and really just be like, all right, I'm going to trust myself, and I'm going to trust that my path is higher than this. And I'm going to trust that even though I don't see the exact path that is around me or coming for me, I still trust and believe that I will have what I need and I will be where I need to be. Because when you do not fully listen to yourself and decide like, okay, I'm going to live the life that I need to live for myself, I'm going to make the healthy habits changes, I'm going to face myself, I'm going to face my traumas, I'm going to face my generational woundings, and I'm going to face the things that are holding me back, and I'm going to do it by my fucking self because I'm tired of feeling this way. Until you have that shift, you're bound to a system that was never made for you. Like, I want to talk about this. You should not be eating the food that they are giving us. You should be listening to how your body wants to move through this world and what really focusing on what deeply nourishes you. And that's going to feel lonely at times to do what deeply nourishes you, but it's absolutely necessary. It's absolutely necessary. So what am I asking you to do? I'm asking you to stop trying to fit in boxes that no longer fit for you. They probably fit at one time. They probably felt fine for a while, but as your vibration raises and as God and your soul calls you to be a beacon of light and it calls you to be a leader, then and you're going to feel that. You feel that in your body. The only reason you're watching this is because you know that you're a leader. So once you start feeling that call, then you have to leap into the unknown. You have to trust yourself, and just focusing on unwinding. When I started inner child healing, like I said, I'm jumping around the story, I'm sorry, but when I started that is when I actually found my true self, because I was able to figure out who I wasn't and who I was through that process. So basically, unlearning who you're not. You have to figure out what stories are not yours, what has been inherited, what traumas do not identify with you, what doesn't make sense for your life, what choices just don't make sense, the way that you're showing up for yourself and your body, what doesn't make sense anymore. Looking at it straight in the face and changing so that you can find more of yourself through your decisions. When you say yes to what you know is true for yourself through your actions towards the self and self-love, that's when you become stronger in your true self and you feel more confident. But also you just take your energy back and you're like, oh, okay, I'm free. I can feel more free. Every choice that you make towards your true self brings you freedom. Every choice that you make to try to fit into a box or to deny your true self or desires puts you in the box and puts you away from who you really are, and you will feel that. The more sensitive you become, the more you will feel that. And honestly, I think that everyone feels the way that they are not listening to themselves, but it's about, are you being true to yourself? Are you truly allowing that to be your reality? Like, oh no, this doesn't work for me. I'm going to be honest with myself. This doesn't work for me. That's what's required. And look, when I started doing my trauma healing and focusing only on releasing the stories of my past and figuring out who I was and what I like and what fills me up and what I really want to be doing in my life, and when I focused my energy on that, I didn't fit in even more. But guess what? I found my soul. I found my clarity. I found my confidence. I stopped self-sabotaging. I stopped overeating. I'd still people please to some extent, like we're fucking human. But I stopped doing things that are out of alignment, and I don't care now what people think of me. I don't care what my family thinks of me. I'm with them right now. And I honestly just I don't even try to. I love them, but I don't even try to fit in. I don't care. I don't care about spending the energy to be fake or to fit in anything. I'd rather, if I had to work a normal job, I wouldn't. because I would have rather been broke, and I chose this, than fit somewhere that doesn't work. Why do that? When you try to fit in anything, any relationship, any situation that doesn't work, your ego is trying to grip onto a story of control that literally is an illusion anyway. So that's creating pain in your body and can actually manifest as physical illness. So what's the point? What's the point? You're not fooling yourself. You might be fooling the world, but you're wasting your life, because we only have a small amount of time here. So what you spend your time and energy on funneling into trying to grow, that's your life. That's what you're gonna reap. So you don't wanna reap more fear. Your fear is always gonna be there because it's a deep collective program. You can unwind some of that. That's what I do a lot in my sessions with people, is we are literally unwinding generational trauma and layers and patterns and stories and wounds and limiting beliefs and self-sabotage and all of that stuff from your past. That is what we can do. But fear will always, always, always be there. You just have a choice. Choose love. Choose the thing that brings you closer to your soul. Choose those decisions. It's worth it for you, because then you know you're on the highest path. Your soul knows the way, but it's not going to tell you everything. You got to be like, all right, I'm going to listen. I'm going to deeply listen. And I'm going to trust myself. I'm going to trust my voice, and I'm going to validate myself, even if my family doesn't get it, because I'm not going to be stuck in these stories anymore. You have to either choose to unwind and get out of the stories, or stay stuck for the rest of your life. And I work with people who are in their 80s. And you know what they say? They wish they didn't get married, and they wish that they took more risks. That's the biggest thing I see. Because I've worked with 3,500 people in person and online, and have a client base where I live. And I get a lot of tourists coming in there. And they say they wish that they didn't, those are the two things. They feel stuck in boxes and stuck in rigidity. And those boxes are created by the fear that's been passed on to you. Your soul has a deeper voice. So you're not meant to fit in the system, all right? You're not meant to. You're meant to cycle break out of it and figure out who you are beyond those things. So please let me know in the comments if this was helpful. I'm gonna get going. I'm traveling, but if you want to go deeper into these layers, you want to do the one-on-one coaching, we can do the subconscious work, we can do the coaching one-on-one. I'm repeating myself because my brain is literally like, I'm freaking like, if you can't tell, I'm all over the place. I'm trying to do everything that I need to do, and I'm in the matrix right now. Okay, I'm with my family right now. But anyways, we can do that deeper work. We can do the energetic healing. I can give you the tools. We can really knock down those layers so that you can transform. It's for the people who want the freedom. They want to be connected to their authentic self. They want to share their gifts. If this sounds like you, then this is for you. Reach out. We'll have a no pressure chat and just see if it's something that aligns. You can also see my testimonials and more about my coaching services below. I love you. I hope you have a great day.